On your first day of school, you were forcibly kissed by the school beauty? You initially thought it was just a punishment for a dare, until she tried to pry open your teeth, and you realized something was wrong. However, you didn't know that you were the man she wanted to possess again in her second life. In her past life, you helped her through the lowest point of her life. From then on, you lived a carefree life together. However, during an intense attempt to conceive, she miraculously returned to her 18-year-old self. Seeing you again as a young and innocent girl, she decided to rekindle their happy life as soon as possible. And now was the perfect opportunity. At this moment, at the registration office of Jiangxing University, you were walking forward with your suitcase. A crisp, sweet husband immediately attracted everyone's attention. Husband, you were so handsome at 18, so young and dashing. But just as you were about to complain about how great university life was, the girl who had just called you husband was already standing in front of you and naturally took your hand. A huge question mark slowly appeared above your head. Wait, I was just watching the show. How did I become the main character? You took 2 steps back, trying to pull your hand away, but unexpectedly, the girl not only didn't let go, but also grabbed your other hand. Wait, we don't know each other, do we? You could feel countless eyes staring at you. Brother Mu, do you think I look pretty dressed like this? Su Wanqing blinked, her eyes fixed on you. After all, you'd been married for 2 years, and she knew your preferences perfectly. A slim waist, long legs, wearing youthful dresses. And she'd even bought her a few to wear, for you to play around with after you got married. You silently nodded in your heart, but your mind was clear. You know me. Su Wanqing nodded, the corners of her mouth slowly curving upwards. A bright and beautiful smile. Our relationship is more than just knowing each other. She paused. There are so many people here. Can we go somewhere else to talk? A coffee shop. You shook your head and refused. Let's talk here. Also, can you let go of my hand first? It's too hot. Su Wanqing pouted slightly, a little dissatisfied, but quickly relented, looking at the big tree beside her. Let's talk there. It's cool and no one's around. You nodded, looking at your right hand, which she was holding tightly, feeling a bit helpless. Oh well, she's already called you husband. Holding hands isn't a big deal. Okay, can you tell me now? You patiently waited, admitting that although you'd never been in a relationship, you had little self-control when faced with a girl's gaze. Even your tone softened a bit. Su Wanqing pulled her hand away, crossing her arms with extreme arrogance, tilting her head slightly like a pampered ragdoll cat. Listen carefully, my name is Su Wanqing, and I'm your future wife. You frowned, thinking this was utter nonsense, and were about to interrupt her, when the girl instantly switched to a fighting expression. Her face puffed out. We were trying to conceive, and then I woke up and was back in 2026. Well, it's fine if I'm back. It would have been nice to meet you sooner. But instead, I was sent back 3 months before my college entrance exam. Do you know how many all-nighters I've stayed up all night? How hard I've studied, just to get into the same university as you. These past few months, my face has turned sallow, and my beauty has diminished. Damn it, Su Wanqing said, looking at you with her beautiful foxy eyes. Even though you could tell she was throwing a tantrum, she was still so beautiful you wanted to ruffle her hair. Su Wanqing, you should know what you're saying, right? You felt a little unsure. Although Su Wanqing didn't seem to be lying, what she said was just too unbelievable. Su Wanqing calmed down a bit, as if she had expected it. She raised her chin and began to recount various information about you. Listen up, Brother Mu. I am your future wife, no doubt about it. Of course, what I'm saying is hard to accept, but I'm not lying. I know everything about you. You tried to remain calm, your gaze deep and unfathomable. For example, know what? Su Wanqing smiled slyly, her voice still sweet. You're 18. You subconsciously frowned. This is nothing. Most people are 18 when they start college. Su Wanqing's gaze slowly moved down your face, finally settling on you. I didn't say that was age. Feeling her gaze, you took a step back in fright. What's going on? I've already encountered a female pervert on my first day of college. Even if this female pervert was pretty, you didn't dare to continue entangled with her. Seeing that you wanted to run away, Su Wanqing quickly became serious. Hey, don't get excited. I'm being serious. Your name is Mu Gu, your dad's name is Mu Jiji, your mom's name is Chin Ping, and you run a small noodle shop online, which is doing quite well. You don't like seafood, onions, cilantro, or scallions, and you don't like anything sweet or greasy. You also like kittens. Seeing her confidently rattle off such a list of your habits, you were undoubtedly surprised. However, it was too hasty to expect you to believe her based on just this information. Is that all? Su Wanqing seemed to read your mind and dropped a bombshell. When you were in junior high, you kept a snail and named it Quicksilver. You cared for it for 10 days, but then you forgot to move it, and it died of heat stroke on the windowsill. You cried for 3 days straight and finally buried it in the succulent plant on your balcony. That should prove I wasn't lying, right? You were speechless, frozen in place. She was right. You hadn't told anyone about it. It was your secret. She even knew this? Could she really be your future wife? You swallowed hard, looking at Su Wanqing. After a long pause, the doubt in your eyes disappeared, replaced by clarity. We'll really get married in the future? Of course, and our relationship will be wonderful. You love me to death. Su Wanqing nodded emphatically, lowering her voice. The 18 you mentioned earlier is also true. After we get married, you'll personally hold my hand and measure it with a ruler. You felt a rush of blood to your head, your eyes darting around in a panic, unsure where to look. Had you really become so promiscuous a few years later? Don't say anything yet. Let me calm down. You took a deep breath. It was so hot that your mouth felt dry, and a thin blush rose to your cheeks. Seeing your shy, innocent expression, Su Wanqing seemed to have discovered something new and reached out to poke your cheek. Wow, honey, you were so innocent in college. Su Wanqing's voice was beautiful, sweet, and soft, with a rising tone at the end when she called you honey, like a small hook, undeniably alluring. Your ears turned red, your heart pounded faster than ever, but you couldn't help feeling a secret thrill. So this is what it means to encounter a max level succubus right after leaving the beginner's village. Su Wanqing, you just said we were trying to conceive, and then you woke up and appeared here, right? You paused when you said trying to conceive. Those two words were really too hot to say, especially for someone like you who had never even been in a relationship. It was even more embarrassing. Yeah, I don't know what happened either. I woke up and found myself a senior in high school. You know how scared I was. Su Wanqing sniffled pitifully, then naturally pulled your arm and shook it. I looked at the time, and there were still 3 months until the college entrance exam. The thought of having to study all the high school material again made me want to die. In the end, I only overcame it by thinking about you. You asked, puzzled, thinking about me? Su Wanqing nodded. Yes, I knew you went to Jiangxing University, and I thought I had to get into that university so I could come and catch you. We said after we got married that it would be even better if we met sooner. It was just a casual remark, and who knew it would actually come true? I find it amazing. Although you weren't very good at comforting her, you had at least watched TV dramas. So you raised your hand and gently patted her head. You've worked hard. You did a great job. You got in, didn't you? That's fantastic. You thought your blunt, straight man comment wouldn't have any effect. But to your surprise, Su Wanqing closed her eyes like a happy puppy, letting you pat her head with a blissful expression, visibly delighted. If you want to make it up to me, make me some shredded pork with garlic sauce noodles when we get home. I want to eat it. You lifted your eyelids slightly. Shredded pork with garlic sauce noodles are the most successful main dish you and your parents learned to make. Okay, I'll make it for you during the National Day holiday. You readily agreed. Su Wanqing suddenly looked up. What National Day? It'll be ready when we get home. Meeting your questioning gaze, she slapped her forehead and quickly said, I forgot to tell you. I've already rented an apartment near the school. It's a 1-bedroom, 1 living room, 1 kitchen, 1 bathroom place, and the hygiene is quite good. Just take your luggage and come home with me. That'll be our temporary home. We'll buy a house together when we earn more money. Your mind went blank for a moment, a fleeting look of astonishment crossing your eyes. Really? You rented an apartment? A 1-bedroom? So, according to Su Wanqing, you're going to be living under the same roof as her today? No, you mean sleeping in the same bed. Are you serious? I originally planned to stay in the dormitory. Are you thinking this is a bit too fast? Although you completely believe what Su Wanqing said, living together right away is still a big deal. Brother Mu, you mean, I finally found this place. And you're not going to live with me? Su Wanqing smiled, but her tone was sinister. Clearly, she's angry. You've never been so nervous. Even dropping second place in the exam didn't make you this anxious. Is this the intimidation power of your wife? You swallowed hard, your intuition telling you. If you dare disagree, Su Wanqing will probably grab your ear and beat you up. And in the end, you'll have to obediently live with her. Thinking of this, you quickly explained, No, I'm just worried it won't be good for your reputation. Su Wanqing was puzzled. What reputation? We're going to get married anyway. Living together is perfectly normal. Suddenly, her eyes narrowed, and her tone turned slightly colder. But it didn't sound intimidating at all. Brother Mu, when we get married, you told me you weren't dating. But you're not lying, are you? Do you have a girlfriend now? You shook your head vigorously, waving your hands. Speaking rapidly. No. I promise I absolutely don't. I don't even know what liking someone feels like. How am I supposed to find a girlfriend? Hearing this, Su Wanqing perked up, immediately putting her arm around yours. That's good. Now you go register, and we'll go home. We'll come back to school for the meeting this afternoon. You nodded, feeling completely pushed along by Su Wanqing. Whatever she said was law. You had no choice at all. Su Wanqing frowned, and you chickened out. Now you understand your father a little better. Usually, when your mother gives him a cold shoulder, he immediately becomes obedient. Resignedly, you dragged your suitcase to the computer science department's tent to register. Su Wanqing had been watching you the whole time. Seeing you finished, she immediately jumped next to you, took an umbrella from her bag, and handed it to you with perfect ease. You hold the umbrella, I'll pull the suitcase. You took the umbrella, paused for a moment looking at the pretty pink one in your hand, then resignedly opened it. Stand to my left. I'll hold the umbrella with my left hand and pull the suitcase with my right. Su Wanqing stopped. Just as you were about to ask what was wrong, Su Wanqing confidently extended her hand. Then why are you holding my hand? You always held mine when we went out. You were silent for a second. The used to Su Wanqing spoke of was a future you hadn't experienced. You were still a bit slow on the uptake, and didn't have the habit Su Wanqing mentioned. But since she offered, you wouldn't refuse. You extended your right hand. Then let's hold hands. Su Wanqing was delighted and immediately placed her small hand on top, pulling the suitcase with her other hand. Your silhouettes were a beautiful sight, attracting envious glances from many. Su Wanqing was in a good mood, chattering away as if she had endless things to say. Brother Mu, my rented apartment is very close to the school's main gate. Only a 10-minute walk. It'll be very convenient for us to go to class. Okay, I know. What? That's all you said? Aren't you going to praise me? Great job, you did very well. You really don't know how to praise me. So you just say a couple of things like, humph. That's more like it. By the way, I have a question. You've always wanted to ask. But Su Wanqing is a chatterbox. So you're only getting the chance now. What is it? Go ahead and ask. Why didn't you call me or come to see me directly? When Su Wanqing first arrived here, it was 3 months before the college entrance exam. She was busy studying then, so it was reasonable that she didn't come to see you. After all, with the exam so close, it wasn't appropriate to talk about these things. But after the exam, she could have easily called you. Hearing this, Su Wanqing's face fell, looking a little guilty. On the first day of school, you were forcibly kissed by the school beauty. You thought it was just a punishment for completing a dare, until she tried to pry open your teeth. And then you realized something was wrong. However, you didn't know that you were the man she wanted to possess again in this second life. In her previous life, when she was at her lowest point, you were the one who helped her out of that agonizing time. From then on, you lived a shameless life together. However, during an intense attempt to conceive, she miraculously returned to her 18-year-old self. Seeing you again in your youthful innocence, she decided to rekindle their happy life together as soon as possible. And now was the perfect opportunity. Su Wanqing's face fell, and she felt a little guilty. Because I don't remember your phone number. She hated anything related to numbers. Memorizing phone numbers was pure torture for her. Oh, I just don't like memorizing them. So I don't know our parents' numbers either. I thought about going to see you directly after the college entrance exam. But after thinking about it, I decided to surprise you. Didn't you ever consider that maybe I, like you, came back from 5 years in the future? Su Wanqing looked up with her beautiful face, very proud. That's impossible. If you came back from 5 years in the future, you would contact me the day you returned. Fly straight to my side, hug me, and kiss me. You didn't expect such an answer and said helplessly, okay, you have a point. You glanced at your watch and soon arrived at the apartment building. The apartment complex was new, and the exterior was beautifully decorated. Our home was on the 10th floor of Building 8. Su Wanqing was a little impatient. The password is your birthday and our wedding anniversary. You watched as Su Wanqing's fair fingers entered the password, 217416. Your birthday is February 17th, so our wedding anniversary is April 16th. You silently memorized it, and the combination lock beeped as it unlocked. Su Wanqing opened the door, her voice cheerful. Tada, this is our home. You looked up and saw a spacious, bright living room with plenty of natural light and a large projector. The beige sofa was piled with cushions, blankets, and cute little toys. You could tell that Su Wanqing had put thought into it. I decorated the detached villa we bought after we got married. This tablecloth, the blanket on the sofa, the paintings, and the toys, I bought the same ones all. Although you don't have those memories now, it doesn't matter. From now on, I, Su Wanqing, will gradually enter your world, making sure every little corner of your world has her presence. It's beautiful. You have great taste. This is exactly the home you envisioned. Su Wanqing changed her shoes and then took out a matching blue pair from the entryway shoe cabinet, handing them to you. Mu, change your shoes first. They're a couple set. You slipped them on deftly, finding them slightly too big, and couldn't help but smile. You have a habit when it comes to shoes. You like to wear sneakers that fit perfectly and slippers a size too big. Such a subtle habit, and Su Wanqing knew it so well. It seems we'll be very much in love in the future. Come and see the bedroom. Su Wanqing took your hand. You had initially worried the bedroom would be as pink and delicate as her umbrella, but you realized you were overthinking it. A 1.8-meter bed, a minimalist light green bedding set, a 2-meter-long desk next to it, a large wardrobe, and a full-length mirror. Is this the minimalist style you like? Su Wanqing smiled brightly. She knew that even if you were a few years younger, your personality wouldn't change much, and your preferred style wouldn't change much either. I love it. Will our bedroom be decorated like this after we get married? You were deeply moved, a warm feeling welling up inside you. Yes, but our bedroom is bigger than this one, and we have a separate balcony. And Su Wanqing's thoughts drifted, recalling those loving memories. But she quickly came back to her senses. Honey, we'll have all of that in the future. Right now, the most important thing is that I'm so happy. Just thinking about being with you at such a young age makes me so excited. So very excited. Her eyes crinkled, and you couldn't help but smile, your lips curving slightly. I'm excited too. You opened your suitcase, thinking of hanging up your clothes and packing. But when you were putting things away, you discovered your own clothes and pants were already in the closet. You were a little confused. Where are these? Su Wanqing, who was texting her parents to let them know she was safe, looked up and softly said, "Oh, I bought these for you. Your height and weight won't change much, so I bought some to keep." You couldn't quite describe how you felt, but it was warm and cozy, like you were lying on a cloud, happy and at peace. You hung up your clothes, glancing at Su Wanqing's colorful and pretty dresses beside you, unable to resist imagining how beautiful she would look in them. She must look stunning. When you opened the bottom drawer, you found it filled with Su Wanqing's underwear. A variety of styles, some sexy, some innocent. You swallowed hard, feeling your ears burning red. Not daring to look any longer, you quickly put your clothes in the bottom drawer and took your toiletries to the bathroom. While you were still in a daze, Su Wanqing had already finished informing her parents and was lazily leaning against the bathroom door, staring at you. "Honey," she called out sweetly. "Your whole body feels like it's on TV. Your heart is pounding faster and faster. This is too much. You're only 18. I can't take it anymore." But the culprit was completely oblivious, her pink lips parting slightly as she asked you seductively, "Honey, do you know why the bathroom is so big?" Your Adam's apple bobbed deeply, your eyes darkening as if stained with ink. "Because you love being with me in the bathroom." You completely lost your composure, your breathing quickening. Su Wanqing, however, turned around with a smile, leaving your heart in turmoil. While she remained there, still smiling sweetly, after you put away your toiletries, she took a can of Coke from the refrigerator and sat down on the sofa. "Honey, here's your first sip." You walked over and sat down, keeping a little distance from her, not too close. But Su Wanqing moved closer to you, her body softly pressed against you. "Drink up, isn't that what you like?" The first sip is the most fizzy. You did indeed love the first sip of ice-cold Coke in the summer. It felt so refreshing, and the first sip of a 3 yuan Coke was already worth 2.9 yuan. "Thank you." You took a sip, and the soda exploded in your mouth, stimulating and blissful. Su Wanqing took it from your hand, took a small sip, and then winced from the spiciness. You were amused by her reaction. "Don't you like Coke?" "I never used to drink, but after we met, seeing you drink it made me start to have a little too. I prefer sweet drinks." Your eyes flickered, and you seemed to understand her a little better. "Remember, can you tell me how we met and how we fell in love?" You were genuinely curious. At least you couldn't imagine what you'd be like in the future. "Yes, we met on a plane. I was going to Taipei for a book signing, and you were going on a business trip. My periods are always irregular, and I was unlucky enough to stain my dress. You saw it and gave me your jacket. I was secretly watching you before boarding the plane, and then I realized you were a really nice person, handsome and gentlemanly. Sir, I got your contact information. After my book signing, I contacted you and found you were still in Taipei, so I asked you out. We spent the whole day in Taipei. Then, Su Wanqing stopped, and you were a little anxious, eager to know what happened next. And then we fell in love with each other during our daily interactions, and feelings developed over time." Su Wanqing blinked her beautiful fox-like eyes, her voice seemingly possessing magic. "Then I kissed you, and we went to a hotel?" Hee. A question mark instantly flashed through your mind. What? You couldn't believe it. Was your future self really that crazy? Was it what you thought? Going to a hotel couldn't just be about chatting under the covers, could it? You didn't really believe it. Su Wanqing nodded, then leaned her head against your shoulder, her voice soft and sweet. "You're a month older than me. We were both 22 then, and neither of us had ever dated before. When we hit it off, things progressed incredibly fast. Later, we went on dates and trips, talked about our feelings, and a month later we got our marriage certificate. We were so loving for 2 years, then we started trying to conceive. And that's how I ended up here." You were a little stunned by this news. You had thought your love story with Su Wanqing would be a slow and steady one, but you really hadn't expected it to be so exciting. Su Wanqing extended her little finger, hooked it around your index finger, and shook it. "You don't need to doubt it at all. We love each other. We love each other very much. Maybe my view on love is a little different from others. I think liking someone is just a fleeting moment, passionate and straightforward. On the plane, I knew that if we were to get married and have children, I wanted to be with you, and you love me too. Whether in bed or out of bed, we are the most compatible." Su Wanqing spoke confidently and firmly, completely believing that you, no matter your age, would fall in love with her. And indeed, it was true. You felt a genuine flutter in your heart. You were processing her words. But Su Wanqing, receiving no reply, immediately straightened up, pulled her hand away from yours, and threw a tantrum like a cat with its fur standing on end. "Brother Mu, if you don't like me and don't marry me, you're dead. Don't be angry. I didn't mean anything by it, really." You weren't intimidated by her fierce appearance, but you still quickly explained, "Then look at me. Do you like me even a little bit now?" You were forced to look Su Wanqing in the eye. Her pupils were a pale color, her eyes were large, and her eyelashes were long and curled. In those few seconds of eye contact, your heart suddenly raced out of control, and you felt the air around you become scorching hot. You looked away first, averting your gaze. Seeing your reaction, how could Su Wanqing not understand? She laughed heartily. I knew it. You would definitely like me, right, husband? She seemed to be deliberately seducing you, drawing out the last syllable, making your heart itch. Your mind raced, your fingers unconsciously clenching until they turned white. And you abruptly changed the subject. Is that how you always call me? Just my name? Or husband? Yes, that's right. That's always been how I call you. I call you husband when I'm being affectionate, and otherwise I just call you by your name, to make myself seem more sophisticated. So what do I call you? You call me so many things. Wife, baby, darling, little treasure, Su, little sister, sweetheart. Listening to these increasingly cheesy nicknames, you reasonably suspected that Su Wanqing was lying to you. Meeting your suspicious gaze, Su Wanqing continued. I'm really not lying to you. Why would I lie to you? It's just that there are some things you don't usually moan about, but you moan a lot in bed. Speaking of bed, Su Wanqing became quite seductive. Honey, you might not know, but you're completely unruly in bed. Totally different from your usual self, you know? You blurted out, I didn't know. If you keep moaning like that, the old house will catch fire. I'm going to the bathroom. You suddenly stood up, slipped into the bathroom to wash your face. And when you looked in the mirror, you realized your ears were already burning red. You touched them. They were incredibly hot. It's okay. It's only the first day. It's normal to be a little excited. It'll get better later, you reassured yourself silently. Just then, your phone started ringing incessantly. It was a message from Lu Yang. Bro, where did you go? I've been waiting for you in the dorm for ages. Didn't you say you'd be there in half an hour? Hurry up. Both of your roommates are here, saying they were going out for skewers tonight. Bro, are you even going to continue studying? You just vanished like that. Lu Yang and you grew up together.